Hi everybody, it's Tatiana, and today I am doing a review of The Black God's Drums by P. Djèlí Clark. I'm not sure how to pronounce his name. This is what the cover looks like in case I get lazy when it comes time to edit. And I was 100% interested in the story, number one, because of the cover, and number two, because of the synopsis. And the synopsis on Goodreads says, Creeper, a scrappy young teen, is done with living on the streets of New Orleans. Instead, she wants to soar, and her sights are set on securing passage above the smuggler airship Midnight Robber. Her ticket, earning Captain Anne-Marie's trust using a secret about a kidnapped Haitian scientist and a mysterious weapon he calls the Black God's Drums. But Creeper keeps another secret close to her heart. Oya, the African Orisha of wind and storms, who speaks inside her head and grants her divine powers. And Oya has her own priorities concerning Creeper and Anne-Marie. And that sounds really interesting. Unfortunately, the book did not live up to the synopsis. In short, this short story, this novella, is why I don't like short stories. Now, not to say that there was nothing good about it. There were things about the book, about the story, that I really enjoyed. The fact that it is not just, it's set in New Orleans, but it's set in an alternative history New Orleans. So it's set in New Orleans just after or during the Civil War, and it's steampunk. So it's in the 1800s, but there is this mechanical steampunk technology like airships, like mechanical limbs for amputees. So, you know, those things were interesting. I like that it's written in dialect. It's written from Creeper's perspective, and Creeper has like a Creole kind of way of speaking. And then you also have a couple of characters who are from Trinidad. You have a character who's from Haiti, the Haitian scientist. And so you have characters and people across the diaspora, not just from and based in the U.S. And I enjoyed that. I enjoyed the nod, the name of the ship, I'm assuming, because that's exactly what it made me think of, is a nod to Midnight Robber by Nalo Hopkinson. I liked the inclusion of the Orisha in the story and some of the Orisha legend. So those are all good things. What I did not like about the story is that I think it could have been much more enjoyable, for me at least, this is my review, if it were longer. There are scenes and characters who we meet in the story that are part of the story, but it would have been nice to get more information or more about them, more about this setting. I will say, if you are familiar with New Orleans, if you have lived in or been to New Orleans multiple times, and you know how the landscape is, with how the streets intersect and what is where in reference to the quarter and the things that are, you know, the places or the street names that are around the quarter, then a lot of those things will resonate with you, because that is part of the story, but it's part of the story without giving enough detail for those of us who've never been to New Orleans. So it's like reading about it, but not being able to place it. And yeah, it was a weird thing for me. There's also a part in the story where I realized, when I got to a certain point, I realized this would have really been great if there was more than one perspective. Because there are some things that happen that, for you reading, or for me reading the story, they just happened too quickly. It's like the climax hits, and then I was really left feeling like, that's it. And I think that there was supposed to be, or the idea was that it would be more impactful than it actually was. And maybe since it is set up, I think Creeper is like 13 or 14 years old, so maybe this is more leaning towards the middle grade YA audience versus adult audience, first foray into fantasy or steampunk. I don't know, but it there was no climax for me. And then the book was over, and I literally like tapped my screen for more, and it was acknowledgments, and I said, oh God, that's it. So yeah, this unfortunately was not the reading experience that I was hoping it was going to be. So that's all that I have for this review. I'm going to go. Thank you all for watching, and I hope you have a good weekend whenever you see this video. Peace out.